Liam and Clara had shared 12 years of marriage, a bond that had once felt magical but had gradually faded into the humdrum rhythm of daily life. They'd fallen in love in their late 20s, drawn together by a passion for indie films, weekend hikes, and a sense of shared ambition. Liam, an architect with a quiet soul and a need for structure, found stability in the life they built. Clara, a freelance graphic designer with a restless spirit, had once thrived on his steadiness. Their contrasts had once created balance. Now they felt like cracks widening in a slowly crumbling foundation. Their daughter, Sophie, was 9, bright-eyed, imaginative, and gentle, with Clara's creativity and Liam's calm presence. Their home in the suburbs was peaceful, but for Clara, it had begun to feel like a cage. More often than not, she'd catch herself staring out of the kitchen window, wondering when life had turned into a predictable loop of chores, school pickups, and half-hearted conversations. Liam's work successes meant late nights at the office, and Clara's once thriving freelance career had withered into sporadic gigs. Their discussions had become transactional, limited to grocery lists, school events, and who was driving Sophie to practice. The laughter that once echoed through their home now lived only in dusty photo albums. Then came a night like any other, over leftovers and silence. Clara dropped her fork, her voice cracking as she asked, "Do you even see me anymore?" Liam looked up, startled. "What's wrong?" he asked, confused. "Everything," she replied, motioning toward the cluttered room. "We're not living. We're just existing." Liam rubbed his temples, exhaustion lining his face. "I'm doing my best. Work's been." "It's always about work," she interrupted, tears shimmering in her eyes. "Jenna's husband flew her to Paris for the weekend. You and I haven't even driven out of state in years." He exhaled. "We'll plan something. I promise." But to Clara, it sounded like all the other promises, thin and temporary. 2 weeks later, a shiny invitation arrived. A rooftop party thrown by Oliver, Liam's old college friend. Oliver had just sold his startup and was celebrating in lavish style. Liam, ever the introvert, hesitated. Clara didn't. Her eyes lit up. "We're going," she said, the decision made. That night, Clara wore a crimson dress she hadn't touched in years. Liam struggled with his tie, but paused when he saw her. "You look beautiful," he said gently. She smiled, but it didn't quite reach her eyes. Oliver's penthouse buzzed with music and laughter. Glittering decor, champagne fountains, and strangers filled every corner. Clara clung to Liam at first, but slowly drifted toward the balcony, drawn to the city's glow. That's where Oliver found her. With his usual swagger, he leaned beside her. "You've done well for yourself," she said, smiling faintly. "Timing and luck," he replied with a shrug. Unlike Liam. Always the safe one. The comment landed hard. "Safe isn't always enough," Clara said quietly. Oliver tilted his head. "Sounds like someone's hungry for something more." He offered his hand as the music swelled behind them. Clara hesitated, then placed her hand in his. Inside, Liam watched from a distance, clutching a beer as he saw Clara spinning, laughing under string lights with Oliver. The ache in his chest deepened. He had always felt like an outsider in Oliver's world. Too grounded, too careful. By midnight, the noise became suffocating. Liam texted Clara, stepping out. "Meet you at the car." No response. Upstairs, in the hush of Oliver's bedroom, Clara sat at the edge of the bed, her shoes off, her hair tousled. "It's been fun," she murmured. "You don't have to go back to that," Oliver said, his hand brushing against hers. She didn't move away. "What if I want more?" she whispered. Then he kissed her, slow, deliberate, a kiss that tasted like escape. Guilt flashed through her, but she shoved it down, letting the moment wash over her. When Liam finally found her, she was fixing her earring in the hallway mirror. Her cheeks were flushed. "Ready?" he asked. She nodded, but something passed between them unspoken. The car ride home was filled with silence. He wanted to ask, "Who were you with?" But all he said was, "Sophie's rig competition is tomorrow." Clara turned to the window and didn't respond. The days that followed were thick with unspoken tension. Liam buried himself in work. Clara began coming home later, her excuses vague, client meetings, delayed errands. Sophie noticed. The warmth in the house had cooled. Movie nights were missed. Questions were met with tired smiles. One afternoon, folding laundry, Liam found a crumpled hotel receipt in Clara's coat pocket. A $300 charge dated the night of Oliver's party. His hands shook as he approached her. "What's this?" Clara froze. "It's nothing. A mistake." "Don't lie to me." She looked away, silent. Her silence said everything. Oliver's name kept appearing on her phone. Late-night messages, flirtatious emojis. Clara told herself it was harmless. Just something light. Temporary. But when Oliver invited her to a gallery showing, she didn't hesitate. They went to a cozy wine bar afterward. His hand traced slow circles on her wrist. "You deserve more than what you've been getting," he said. "What we had wasn't real," she whispered. "Then let's make it real," he murmured, kissing her again. This time there was no guilt. Liam, sensing the growing distance, did something that made him feel sick. He hired a private investigator. A week later, a package arrived. Photos of Clara and Oliver, smiling on a park bench, her hand tucked into his coat. Liam stared until his eyes burned. That night, an envelope sat on the kitchen counter. Clara walked in, paused when she saw it. "Is this why you've been so cold?" she asked. "You erased us," Liam said. "I just wanted to feel alive again," she replied, voice trembling. "You stopped choosing me," he said bitterly. The divorce was quick. Clara moved into a sleek apartment Oliver rented for her. She promised Sophie weekend visits, but they faded into excuses. Sophie's drawings piled up on Liam's fridge, 3 stick figures, one always scribbled out. Oliver's charm faded fast. He started pulling away, canceled dinners, rolled eyes when Clara brought up Sophie. "Kids ruin everything," he once muttered, downing a drink. One rainy evening, Clara appeared on Liam's doorstep, soaked and shivering. "Can I come in?" He blocked the doorway. "Why?" "I miss her." "I miss you." "You don't get to miss us now," Liam said. His voice didn't shake. Months later, Clara scrolled through old pictures. Sophie's birthdays, holidays, quiet mornings she once overlooked. Oliver had long vanished, gone after accusing her of being too needy. She called Liam. "Sophie's recital is next week," she said. "Maybe we could go together. Like before." A pause. Then his voice, calm and final. "She's moved on. You should too." At the recital, Clara stood at the back, her heart aching as she watched Sophie beam at Liam from the stage. When their eyes met, Sophie looked away. Clara left before the clapping stopped. Liam began to rebuild. Slowly. Weekends filled with sketchbooks and laughter. One evening, as he painted Sophie's bedroom sunset orange, she asked, "Does Mom hate us?" He knelt beside her. "No, sweetheart. She just forgot how to love us." "You mean, she left because we weren't enough?" "No," he said gently. "She just didn't know how to stay." Meanwhile, Clara drifted through short-lived romances and lonely nights. None of them filled the void. They were all reflections of Oliver. Easy, charming, fleeting. One cold December morning, she stood across the street from Liam's house, watching smoke curl from the chimney. Sophie appeared at the window, waved once, then disappeared. Clara turned away. The snow crunched under her boots. The weight of her choices followed her with every step, quiet, cold, and entirely her own. Liam, on the other hand, had learned to find peace in the quiet. And in that stillness, music returned.